How awesome do you think your fan base is? My fan base is the most awesome. Unquestioned. What do you think is the most annoying noise ever? Babies crying is always a terrible one. I grew up with my mom babysitting, so I had to hear a lot of crying babies. At that time, headphones were invaluable. Just loud music, drown out the babies, don't have to worry about it. I said drown out the babies, not drown the babies, don't misquote me on that. Also, I hate the sound of plastic in movie theaters. I hate that shit so much. You'd be trying to watch a movie and you just hear... Now get your fucking candy and chill out. Just watch the damn movie. That's why I don't really like going to movie theaters that much. Because I get annoyed really easily. And I just don't want to have to deal with it. And most movies, I can wait for the DVD or Blu-ray release. I don't have to go see it immediately. What was the last thing I went to see? Oz, I think. Before that, Wreck-It Ralph, maybe? Which, that movie has a MGS reference in it, and I laughed. And I think I was the only one in the theater that laughed. But then later on, they showed the Contra code, and I saw this other dude laughing. I was like, yeah, you know what's up. Before that, would have been the second Silent Hill movie, which was actually the first 3D movie that I saw. I thought it was kind of cool. That movie has some subtle use of 3D, and I think that's where it works the best. Like, you would see Ash falling, and it looks really neat in 3D. I just hate the stuff where it's like they're like a monster stabbing at you through the screen. That just always looks hokey to me, and I don't think it ever looks very good. I do remember, if you played Silent Hill 2, the creatures that throw up and look like they're in straitjackets. There was one of those in the second movie, and it kind of like moved into the screen, but you only see its shadow at first. And as I was looking at this in 3D, I thought it was someone like moving in front of me, like someone going to get more popcorn or whatever. So I like moved around, like, what the hell is this guy doing? Oh, it's part of the movie. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I am a fan of 3D movies now. And it's cool that the theater in my hometown actually does 3D movies now, so I'll probably be more inclined to actually go see some. Only thing is, they are like twice as expensive, so if it's a good movie, I won't mind it. Anyway, most annoying noise ever? Probably babies. On your bad days, how do you relieve stress? Probably music, or going for a jog helps. I've noticed that if you're pissed off and jog, you wear yourself out much, much faster. Have you considered writing the story to a video game? You are a very illiterate guy, and I'd be interested in what you'd create. I think I'd probably want to do something like an epic RPG type story, full of interesting characters and whatnot. I'm not sure like what type it would be. Actually, I did write some short stories, or started some throughout junior high school and high school. Never finished any of them. I did stick with this one for the longest though, until I realized that this resembles Final Fantasy VII a little too much. Still interested in writing stuff like that. I haven't done it in years now, but I'd like to get back to it sometime. Has a game ever made you cry? I don't think so. I've gotten chills from a couple of games, and the Walking Dead game made me tear up at the end. But I was thinking about that. Before I'd played that, I had heard everyone in the world saying, "Oh, it's so sad I cried." So I have to wonder, like, if my reaction to that game was because that's what the normal reaction should have been, or if that was genuine, if that makes sense. Because I guess, I don't know, it's still pretty sad regardless. The ending for Metal Gear Solid 3 always gives me chills. Just that debriefing, it's awesome. And I want to say Conker's Bad Fur Day also sticks out. That game didn't make me cry or, feel overly sad or anything. That game just has a really sobering, sad ending. Which I think that only stands out because that game is goofy as hell and pretty damn funny. So it's just weird for it to end on such a low note. Hey Chrono, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse? Depends on the type of zombies we're talking about. I would prefer the Resident Evil zombies. Just slow, lumbering zombies. And not Left 4 Dead or 28 Days Later style where they're just running a marathon sprinting at you. I don't know, I think everyone would be going to the gun store and all that. So I think probably trying to get to an island or something like that would be best. Because then you could focus on clearing out the island and have it isolated unless zombies can suddenly swim. And then you should be good until whatever happens. But yeah, just get to some place like that, preferably with a large group of people, and work on clearing it of zombies. And then, I don't know, in every zombie story, it always ends up with being man is the worst enemy. So maybe if you had people you trust, like a big family or something, then things would go okay. But even then, if it's like a prolonged apocalypse, food's gonna run out eventually. And there's gonna be fights, no matter how beloved your fellow travelers are. So I don't know, it's hard to say. My first priority would just be like to kind of get away from everything and try to get as safe as I can and just wait it out. Chrono, can I have a high five? Yeah, you can. Ready? 3, 2, 1. With the changes in teenage culture in the last 5 years, do you feel that children should still be our future? Kind of a serious question, but I guess we need some of those. I think either way, children are our future, whether we like it or not. I think a lot of the problems with kids these days is that they're not properly punished. I mean, parents can actually get in serious trouble for punishing their children in public, which I think is kind of messed up. Because timeout is just not cutting it. I don't agree with beating the hell out of your kids, but there should be a point where they realize, hey, I shouldn't do that anymore because now my ass really fucking hurts. I'll say like my nephew, for example. He's always playing the PS3, and when my sister wants to watch TV or whatever, he'll go and just cause trouble and not let my sister enjoy the movie or whatever. Just to the point where she stops trying to watch and then he goes back to playing games. And on the rare occasion where he does get in trouble, she'll just send him to his room for like 10 minutes. Say, you're not playing the PS3 for the rest of the day. Yeah, 10 minutes later he comes out, everything's fine, and he's back on the PlayStation again. So it's just like, the kids like that have no incentive to change their ways or behave because they're like, hey, the worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have to go be bored for 10 minutes in my room, and then everything's cool again. There's no belt involved, no like behavior deterrent that kind of needs to be in place. Of course, not all kids are like that, thankfully, but you hear more and more about, teenage pregnancies and kids being younger and younger getting into drugs and all that stuff, and I think they just need to be disciplined better. If they were, then things probably wouldn't be like how they are now. At least that's what I think. I'm no expert or anything though, but I think timeout is mostly bullshit and kids should be punished. But I'm not saying go to like extreme lengths, like the kid drops a cup of milk. Oh no, you didn't. The belt is out. The belt is coming out. I don't know. I try not to think about it too much, but the future does seem kind of bleak. Then again, like I've said, I can't say how many kids in question are actually like that. I would hope that over 50% aren't, but that might just be wishful thinking. If I were to give you 3 wishes for anything you wanted, no strings attached, what would you wish for? You can't wish for more wishes in any shape or form. I guess it would be stereotypical to wish for money, wouldn't it? But there is something to be said about just having financial security and not having to worry about that anymore. That's basically winning at life. I think if I did have like copious amounts of money like that, I would be overly generous with it. Like I'd just be at the store and randomly pay for the person in front of me's groceries or whatever else they were buying. Like, hey, just let me get that for you. I'd just be doing nice stuff like that. Just walk up to people and say, hey, here's $100. Enjoy your day. Just, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really need that much money to be happy, so it's just, share the wealth. So I'd wish for enough to be financially secure and extra to help out the people. Wish number 2, I would probably wish to be able to vividly remember every dream that I have. Because I have had some pretty damn cool dreams. I think, at least now, dreams are the only way you can really experience fantasy. Like flying around or breathing underwater, stuff like that. So it'd be cool, I think, to vividly remember every dream that I have, just because, I don't know, I think dreams are really cool, and I'd like to remember as many as I can. Wish number 3, I don't know. Guess what else would I need at that point? Maybe a time machine? I don't know. Probably go with that just to spectate throughout history. Have all the answers and stuff. I'd be tempted to go back and change some things in my past, but who knows? Maybe it would be best not to have a time machine. What's the scariest game I've ever played? I'll say that it's probably Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube. At least that's the only one that sticks out to me for being really scary and actually making me lose sleep, thinking a zombie is going to walk out of the darkness. In your Metal Gear Solid the Twin Snakes speedrun, you said that you might play through Metal Gear 2. Could I do a playthrough of that game? Yes, I probably will. Just recently I replayed some MGS3 Subsistence, just so I could play the original Metal Gear game. I tweeted about that, I think. Yeah, I played through that, and now I kind of want to play through Metal Gear 2, but I think I'll save it for a playthrough. So yeah, that's most likely going to happen. And I think that's all the questions for now. How long I've been recording? About like an hour. So yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, so hopefully this has been insightful and entertaining for you guys. Good to know that I finally got all these questions answered. And who knows, Ask Chrono 3 can happen sometime soon. But then probably take another year to answer. No, I'll try to be better about answering them quickly this time, but that's not to say I want Ask Chrono 3 immediately now. Let's give it a little bit of time. But yeah, I'll let you know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my ramblings for this hour. And hopefully soon I'll be back up and running making videos again. So take care, guys.